Hello, everyone. Really wonderful to see you today. I'm realizing I did not put you on gallery view, so let me do that right now. Now I can really see you all. So welcome. Well, today is our 19th class together. We've done some basics. We've done, at the end of the day, we will have covered all the moves in section one of the long family, of the Yang family long form. So congratulations on, just take stock for a moment on where you've come. I know some of you were pretty much completely new to Tai Chi when you started, and certainly new to the long form. And then a few of you are taking it again for another time. So wherever you have been, just take a moment, take some stock of where, sort of where you are at this point, having seen it for the first time or having seen it again and again. So welcome everybody. I see people coming in as normal. Really, really nice to see you all today. What are we going to do today? Well, as I said, we're going to do our last move, which is cross hands, the last move in the first section. Classes will continue so that you get a lot of review of not only the last few moves, but of the entire first section before you might want to move on and take second section. So we'll see. You'll be hearing more about that in classes to come. And we're going to review apparent close-up. And of course, any questions that you have today are most welcome. Any questions before we warm up? All right, let's warm up. Everything we know, which is most of first section, right? So let's get into prepare. Our feet shoulder width apart. Think about what is not easy for you and make it easy today. Feel that neck quite long. Feel that lower body heavy, that sinking down feeling all the way into the bottoms of your feet, grounded. You could sit in a chair at any moment, those knees unlocked, but the legs straight. Your legs strong, but relaxed and heavy. And that spine just stretching up. The shoulders, though, just helping you feel like your whole body is suspended. So they're down. The neck is long, fishbowl on top of our head. Little weights on the tips of our fingers by our sides. This is prepare. Opening. We're going to come up to shoulder height. And kind of a little wave with our arms pushing down. Left ward off. Left. Turning right. Sit. Big macaw. Right ward off. Turning. Turning back, grab, pull, all that weight on the left. Close, step. Small bird this time. Roll back to the right. And swinging left as we go back. Press, finishing the circle and pressing forward. Push, turning square, coming back over the ball and up the diagonal. Single whip, shifting back, hands flatten, grab, throw to the corner and continuing the circle as we shift back, hands push down, then make that hook. Windshield wiper, deflect, heel ball toe, and strike. Raise hands and step forward. Turning right. Shifting left, circling in and closing those arms, 30% on that front foot. It's a heel touch. White crane. Rotate our arms and pull down, all our weight on the back foot. We're going to step, close, turn. Right arm up. Ball touch, 30%. Brush knee. Swing, step, polish the table, and strike. Hand strums the lute. We give way, shake hands, bring that back foot in. Shift back. Are your arms ready? Heel touch. Strum that lute. Brush knee and push. Swing, step, polish the table, and strike. Another one on the other side, left arm rising. Rotates as the foot goes out. Go stand in the corner. Tai Chi pole, get your balance. Turn, step, polish the table, strike. And another one, up on the other side, rotating out and in, stand in the corner, swing, step, polish the table, strike. Hand strums the lute. Giving way forward, stepping in, pushing back with the ball of the foot. Heel touch. Strum that lute. Shifting back, one last brush knee, stepping out, polish the table, and strike. Parry, block, and punch. Starting out like that brush knee sequence, but now both arms circling down when you stand in the corner. Make that fist, and then that funky step, one line, two sides. Stand on that right foot. Turn and punch. Apparent closing up, our move from last week. Turn a little left, give way, and rotate, cross, open that fist, shift back, wipe off, turn your upper body. Are you ready to push? And push up the diagonal. I'm seeing a lot of people in push. That's a good thing to see. I couldn't see him much of the rest of the time. All right, how are we doing? How are we doing? I'm seeing a mix. Yeah, one thumb up at least. Yeah, here. Oh, a few two thumbs up. All right, good, good, wonderful. That's very good. So we're going to review the last move from last week, but I wanted to ask if there are any questions from before that that people have on their minds, place where they might have gotten stuck. Maria?
I always look on the screen down, and it's hard to keep my line of vision. Would it help to visualize an opponent right before you in order to do those strikes?
I think it's a very good idea. Basically, what they tell us is, when you get to the point where you don't have to completely worry about what arm is moving where with what foot when and all of that,
Right.
they actually, understanding the meaning of the move really, really helps. So, for example, in parry, block, and punch, when you're in parry, block, and punch, if you actually imagine somebody coming towards you, coming towards you and they're trying to hit you. They're trying to punch you, and you're catching them here and deflecting them. But maybe there's somebody else now, right? So they're punching too right here. Then you can deflect them and you can deflect their punch, but block their body, maybe grabbing their elbow and pulling it out, and then you can punch them through. So yeah, that's visualizing the opponent often helps.
Well, I think,
Just also challenging yourself to
right,
not watch some of the time.
right.
But
Because there's
it's
a
very
tendency
hard.
to look at your arms.
It's very hard. Yeah, you can just listen to the call and then double check. It's hard. It's hard. I know because I'm learning new forms all the time too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions before we start? All right. I see people practicing. Shall we go? Shall we go over parent closing up? I think that would be a good idea because we just did that last week. And what I would really like to do is do it from, well, let's do it once from this side so we can really see this left arm. But then I want to do it from this side so we can really see the right arm. And because I'm going to stick to doing it the right way right now, I'm going to put my right arm on so you can see it. So here we are in a parent closing up. So you want to be in a left, we're finishing parry, block, and punch. So parry, block, and punch has your left foot forward in a left bow step. So your heels are shoulder width apart. Your heels are shoulder width apart, but your back heel is out to the corner. Your back foot is pointed out to the corner. And you have punched. So your chest is now forward because you turned when you punched. And your left hand is right beside your middle forearm. So that's our position. You're nice. Folks look really, really nice. All right. So here we are in a parent closing up. We are going to turn a little left and give way so that, you can imagine that we're trying to confuse the opponent about what it is we're about to do. So maybe they were going to push or pull us, but they're probably pulling at us. So we're going to give way. So we're going to turn a little bit and give way. And when we do, this left hand comes down. And then as you finish that, you start to rotate both palms up as you start to turn back. Then this left hand goes underneath your right forearm, all the way back here. All the way back here. Nice. All the way at your upper arm. And you've turned your fist up. But once your fist is up, at the end it opens. So let's do that part again. Here we are. We're going to give way. Hand flattens and pulls apart. Then we make these rotations, come back across, your arms are crossing, and open up at the end. Now, got both feet rooted. We're going to do one of those shifts straight back. And when we do, windshield wiper, that bottom arm, wipe them off. And then turn and push. Let's look at that on the other side. And I'm going to be able to watch you a little better here. All right. Here we are, left foot forward, right foot is behind and out to the corner. Looking good. We're going to turn a little left and give way. And when we do, that right arm goes a little forward. Nice. And then turn back, and right as you've finished one turn and getting ready to do the other, the arms rotate and your left comes underneath, all the way underneath your upper arm. Everybody see that? Nice. Nice position. And are you rooted on both feet? Are you on your surfboard? Now we're going to wipe off. Imagine somebody's hand was there. Maybe you're going to get rid of that whole hand, or just get them on your lower arm. Wipe them off. All right, now what I want to see here, do you see how I'm not all like this? You want to keep your tree. Nice. And then we're going to turn our upper body square and come rotating our arms. And again, we're not way back here, right? We're where we can push. So feel that push right now. Is it here? No. Is it here? Feel where you could push. And then push up the diagonal. Nice. One more time. So at the end of parry, block, and punch, we've punched, left foot forward in a bow stance, right hand, and give way, arms separate a little, and then they rotate, cross, and the fist opens. We come back. They rotate as our chest turns left, and then we push forward. Let's do it again. Here, here, and feel like you just punched. All right, you're going to turn a little left, give way, turn back, rotate your arms, and make sure that left arm goes under as your arms cross underneath. You should see your hand on the other side of your upper arm, right past your elbow. And you've opened your fist. Come back, wipe off. When you do, you have a feeling that the tips of your fingers are right in front of you. And guess what? They're pointing towards the middle forearm, that right hand. Then we're going to turn back, turn our upper body square, and push. Straightening that back leg. Nice. One more time. And give way, turning left, turning right. You've rotated and crossed, opened the fist, and then turn way right, and then turn back and push. Nice. Questions? All right, now I got to see the heads up. I'm seeing a lot of, I'm getting it. Right? Come on. Keep your heads up. Seeing a lot of, oh, I'm working on this, right? You're keeping your heads down. Body big. Power, right? Let's do it again from here. Right? Left bow step and turn left, give way. And rotate, turn right, open, come back, way turn right. Turning back to the left center and push. And one more time, because my call wasn't so great, we're going to turn a little left, give way, turn back to center, cross our arms, open fist, turning right, shifting back, turning back to center, and push up the diagonal. Nice. Any questions?
Yeah. Every time that you just said turn, were you referring to the upper body, or was some of it a hip turn also?
It's all upper body. Yes, it's all upper body. So let me just emphasize that. So I'm turning here, But watch my lower body. Do you see it turn? I mean, I might be turning down here a little bit, but I'm not turning my hips. My hips are not turning. They are not turning, right? So I turn my shoulders a little bit to the left. Then I turn my shoulders back to square. Then my upper body aligns with my lower body by turning. Now my chest is off to the corner. And in a way, I'm open to the corner here, right? And then I turn my chest back, but you see my hips don't move at that moment. And then I'm still back. So let's try that again. It's a very good question. Let's try it again and see if you can feel
So,
that.
so
Yes,
the whole time your hips were open to the corner.
exactly. When you're in a bow step, if you don't move out of that bow step, if you just move back, I mean, we've talked about this a little bit before. When you shift back, your hips have to change a little bit, but they're still predominantly open to the corner. They open a little further to the corner when you go back forward. Do you see that? They open a little bit further, but you do not, maybe you can see it this way. See, I'm not sure what you can see here. I don't have my glasses on. Okay, I'm going to put my hand up here. So as we shift back, what I'm not doing is this. You see, that would really turn my hips, right? I'm not doing this when I go back. They move a little. Show it from this side. So I'm not doing this. Because look what it does to my knee relative to my foot, right? I'm doing this. It takes a while to kind of get that. Does that help, Rima?
Yes, thanks.
Oh, okay, good. So let's do that again. So here we are, concentrating now on the footwork. So we're going to not move that and just turn, right? There's no change in weight or anything like that in the footwork. But we did turn our upper body. Now we turn it back to square and we pass this palm underneath our forearm and open our fist. Now you're going to shift back. Remember we talked about keeping that knee and toe aligned on that back leg. Keep the weight. Feel that back leg. Feel that you do have weight in your front leg, but there's a little more in the back. And also take a moment to feel that your weight on your foot, on your back foot, is not on the outer edge or the inner edge or the heel or the ball. It's on the whole foot. Can you get it there? That will help you align your foot. Then we're going to turn our upper body only to the front. Nice. Oh, I'm seeing some great body position and push up the diagonal. You straighten that back leg. Nice. All right. How are we doing? Are we getting familiar with this move? Much more familiar. Yes, I see people practicing on their own, which is a good sign, a very good sign. All right. I want to tell you a little bit more about this move because I didn't explain why it's called a parent close-up before. Did I? I don't think so. No. So apparently it's closed off. What happened? What does it mean to be closed off? Well, this is martial arts. And this person who's my opponent, as Maria pointed out, you got to be worried about your opponent all the time. this person's trying to get into my center and move it. Because if they can get control of my center, they've got control of my balance. So remember at the very beginning of class, of the whole class, we were doing bow steps, and we talked about how if our feet were together, we didn't have much balance. And you all instinctively found balance when you were on rocky ground, and we looked at that. And then when we looked at the bow step, we saw how strong it was. Do you remember that? It was really pretty strong, because if someone pushed you this way, you could kind of push back because you had at least a vector of a misfoot back here. They pushed you this way. They pushed you either of these directions, you're okay. If they pushed you, this way, you were okay. You weren't great, but, you kind of had enough that you were good. And if they pushed you in this diagonal, you were really great. All of that. And we went through all of that. But remember, there were two that were not so good. Remember that? And you can get in, if you get in this position right now with me, you can feel that, right? So now we've been doing it for a while. Get in this position, and you can feel those different positions. Now imagine you punched, and then someone grabs this right arm, and they push back into you. Just imagine that. This is not good. This is not good. I don't want them on that arm. I don't want them doing that nasty thing to me, right? So what do you do? What do you do? Well, if I can I give way and confuse them, right? And then I turn up. Well, they've got my arm. I'm turning them up. They don't want to hold on much longer, but so they want to move. And I give them their arm. I give them my other arm, and they take it. Well, if they take my other arm, yeah, I may be able to, people are finishing the move, and I may well be able to wipe them off. That would be great. But if I don't successfully wipe them off completely, they just come on my other arm. But if they come on my other arm right here, I could do press. I got all these things in the world I could do, because now they're on my strong side. So what I did is I closed them off from my weak side, and I switched the dynamics, the energy dynamics of the whole thing. So a parent closing up, you can think of as a big X across, X marks the spot. You cannot come in. I am not going to let you through this door, right? This is like the zone. I'm not going to let you in. You're going to try to take this weak part of me? Here, have this one. Oh, good. Now I've got you, right? In fact, I can push you. So that's what's going on in this apparent closing up. It's just a cool move. So it's also the first move I ever taught when I was learning to be a teacher. So I like this move too. They're all my favorites, but I like this one. I'm particularly fond of big macaws, but this one's a good move too. Any questions about apparent closing up? All right, well, let's go on then. Let me show you the next move. And I'm going to show it from this direction so I can be facing 12 o'clock when I finish. So we're going to even though it's going to be like 6 o'clock, because if I did this move the way it's supposed to be done, you wouldn't see any of it. And that would be no fun. All right. So here we are. We've done apparent closing up. And we're in this push position. This is cross hands. We're going to start to shift weight back and start to turn and get the weight in our heel of our left foot. And then we're going to paint a rainbow. We're going to open our arms and turn and pivot that foot. Then we're going to bring our arms in and close, shifting our weight and coming back to just to to a parallel position, and then come up into what's called a double ward off. We've seen right ward off. We could do a left ward off, a left ward off with our, I mean, it's like a right ward off with our left hand. We've done this before, this windshield wiper move, that's a ward off. So is this. They're all ward offs. Okay, so I want to show you the whole thing. Here. We're going to start to shift back and turn, and then we're going to chop and move that foot, and we're going to shift, bring the other foot in, and close. Ward off up. Here we go. One more time. Shifting back. Chop. Bringing our arms in, feet in. Cross your arms up to double ward off. Not too hard. All right. So we usually sketch it. So in order to sketch it, we're going to do it two different ways. We're going to sort of sketch the first part and the second part, but this is a hard one to sketch because I'm facing away from you much of the time, but we'll sketch it from the right way first. So your left foot is forward. You're in this left bow step. Again, your footwork, your hips open to the corner here, right? But your upper body has turned towards 9 o'clock, and we're pushing out. So get on your surfboard and feel that push. Now, we're going to start to shift back and get that weight in the heel, and then paint a rainbow as we shift that heel. Then come back, or circle our arms down. We'll learn how to do that. And then put your right arm behind your left, cross them at the middle forearm, and let your right arm push up until it miraculously ends up on the outside. All right, we're going to start here now. Here. So I want you to put your left foot forward to sketch it. I want you open to the corner. Turn your upper body, face to 12 o'clock and push. That's at the end of apparent closing up. What are we going to do? We're going to start to shift back just a little bit and just move the weight into our heel of our left foot, and then chop to the corner. We're not actually going to stop there. We're going to shift our weight back, bring our arms down and in, and do you see what they look like right here? So they're not like this, they're like this. And my weight is still all on my left foot. Then we're going to shift our weight to center as our arms cross right behind left. Now our weight is centered, and the arms come up. Let's try it from here again, just the sketch. Left foot forward, hips open to the corner, lower body open to the corner, upper body oriented. Get on your surfboard, be a gorilla, pushing to 12 o'clock for the moment. And move that weight back a little bit and pivot on the heel, chop, circle your arms, look in front of you, bring that other foot in, and start shifting your weight. There you are. All right, does your right hand end up in front? It's so confusing. We're going to go into that. So let's go over the footwork. Let's go over the footwork. And we're going to do it for right. We can do it in this direction, I think is the best direction to do, which is the direction we're actually going to be doing it in. So what's the footwork? At the end of the parent closing up, we're open to the corner, right? Our upper body is going this way. So what are we going to do? We're going to start to shift back and just feel how, you don't have to shift it far, right? But you're going to feel it in your heel, right? Shift enough to feel that you can pivot on that heel. Then we're going to pivot on that heel. And this in a way feels like a sort of like a bow step. It feels like there's still weight here, but you have a little more weight on this other, on your right foot. Now, if you swing your hips way to the back when you do that, you may torque your knee. So I want you to pay attention to your foot on the floor. I want you to make sure that that foot feels comfortable with the amount of weight that's on it and that it's flat on the floor. All parts of your foot are flat. It's not on the outside edge. It's not on the inside edge. It's not in your heel. If you start swinging your tail too much, it's going to be in your heel, because now you're going to shift your weight over to your other foot and you can swing your tail now, right? Just because you're moving your weight all the way over here, all the way, Tai Chi pole all the way over here. Bring the other foot in, shoulder width apart, and center your weight. One more time. Move back so the weight's in your heel. Turn. A little more weight in that front foot, but not a lot. It's like 60-40. We're going to push. Well, you're going to move, shift your weight all the way back over to the left-hand side. Bring this foot in and have your weight come down, have your weight center. Now let's do it one more time, and don't stand up. You're open to the corner with your bottom half, top half this way. You're going to shift back, starting to turn a little bit to the right. And it's only a little bit you shifted, but now you've shifted a little bit more. You're still not so far off center, but you've chopped. So it's kind of like you've chopped to this corner. Then we're going to come back all the way to the left. Bring this foot in. Now, did you stand up and now you're having to bend your knee? And then over. One more time. You might have caught yourself standing up. We're going to come, because the leg straightens, but you can't stay straightened. It doesn't straighten completely. Here we go. Back, turn. This knee has to bend back the way it will be in its final position. Bring this here, bring your right foot in and center your weight. Yes, nice. Does that work? Okay, good. I'm seeing thumbs up. I'm seeing 2 thumbs up. Okay, so the hands for this, we did this. I am going to mirror this for you just a bit. So the hands for this, I want you to, first of all, I want you to put your hands forward like in a push, okay? And notice that you can do this thing that if your right shoulder goes back because you're turning on your Tai Chi pole, do you see how how your hands can sort of make a triangle? So put your hands up this way And you know, we could just swing, right? Just swing on that Tai Chi pole. But the other thing we could do is let this forward hand move forward when the other one moves back. Do you see? And when they do, we could let them turn a little bit. And that's what happens in this move. So if you look at the way the fingers point, you can kind of see a triangle forming. So you'll hear a call that is, turn, make a triangle, you know, shift a little weight back, make a triangle. That's what you might hear people call sometime. Do you see where that comes from? So this is your right hand. Anyone get that? So keep your hands out. Oh, can't do it that way. Okay, now we're side by side. This is your right hand. Okay, this is your right hand, right? And then, I'm sorry, this way. All right, I have really screwed it up. All right, here we go. This, I don't know if you can see it here. See, it's just, you start to turn, and when you do, there's this little rotation of your right arm in particular. But your elbow still stays down. So it's a small thing, but that is the thing. And then we are now going to mirror. So I want this to be your left hand pushing, and this to be your right hand pushing. So put your right hand up and push. Right. Now turn. Yeah, I think I've got everybody turned. Turn. And then I want you to paint a rainbow. Okay? And we really don't just leave your hand there. Paint a rainbow. Right. And I want you to paint a rainbow and imagine chopping to the corner. Right here, chop. So you're over here. We're going to chop. And that chop is completely powered by what? Your upper body turning. Chop. Come back and chop. Okay, great. Looks like we've got that. Now, we're going to circle. So how do we get our arms down? We just let them drop down. Remember, we've done this before. Right. I want the elbows to stay where they are. That's the trick. The trick is these elbows stay where they are. Elbows stay where they are. So, you know, circling around your elbows. So it's interesting because you do go from palm up. When you drop your hands, if you do it really slowly, they'll kind of catch right here. And you'll have to kind of paint on the wall a little bit with your fingers and let it turn. So we can try that. You paint with both of them. Chop with both hands. There you go. And then down and in. So up here, chop, and around. It's looking good. This is not something you do with your wrist. This is something you naturally do with your elbow. With your elbow. Your elbow just stays there, but it's got to turn. There's no way at this point that if your palm doesn't turn, if you don't turn your elbow, you've got to turn it right there. And it turns naturally. Everybody did it when I just said drop your elbows. Your palms just went back. They were out and they just went back. So if you're ever unsure, that's what you're doing. So what's the move here? Again, if we were mirroring, this is your right hand. and you paint the rainbow, and then come down the wall, your elbows stay where they are, and your hands come here. Nice. And then what happens? Your right hand goes behind and pushes. Imagine them pushing up. It doesn't really push, but imagine that to get it right. And when you're done, this is what it looks like. It doesn't look like this. It looks like this. You've still got this blown up balloon tree feeling. Nice, nice. And it doesn't look like this, right? You're not crossing here, you're crossing here. And it doesn't look in this perfect X either. It's kind of a squashed X. You see that? It's not like this, it's like this. And then I want you to have that, and I want you to pretend that Nancy Lucero, because I've had her do this, comes over to you and she pulls on your arms right here. And she stretches you, stretches you. I want you to always feel that stretch. Little bit of stretch, except maybe one of you that I happen to know is hypermobile. Don't feel a stretch. But the rest of you, if you're not hypermobile, please, please don't. All right. I mean, please do. Yeah. All right. So here we go. We're here. We're going to paint a rainbow with your right hand. Then we're going to come around your right hand behind your left and up. And you're feeling very extended and round. Powerful. Powerful. And what is this for? Why would you be blocking up? Well, this is somebody punches at you. It's another thing you could do. And as Maria pointed out before, think about what you could do with them afterwards too. I mean, if they're here and you've got them between your hands, I mean, you could grab them and you could pull them. You could do all sorts of things with them, right? So there's lots you could do. Let's try putting this together. So we're going to go from here. You're in a left bow step, open to the corner with your footwork, with your legs. Upper body towards 12 o'clock at this moment, all right? Towards the screen. And you're in push. We're going to shift enough back to get that weight into our heel and start to turn, kind of make that triangle. And then we're going to paint that rainbow to the corner. This is like a selfie moment when we've completed turning that left foot, pivoting that left foot. Now we're going to shift our weight all the way to the left foot as we circle down and step in. This is a closed step of sorts. Shifting our weight right behind left and up into double ward off. Are you feeling nice and stretched? I'm not really stretched enough. Let's get a good stretch. All right, let's try it again. And get that weight back into your heel, shifting back a little, and chop to the corner, pivot. All our weight left, step in, circling down, right behind a left, ward off up. One more time. Pushing in this left bow step. Shift your weight into the heel, starting to turn right and chop to the corner. All our weight left, palms back, step in, and double ward off. Questions? We're going to do it twice more. Here we go. You're in push with your upper body, and your lower body is in a left bow step. Little shift back, pivot on the heel, and chop to the corner as you moved your foot. Circling down, close, step, and up. Keep track of that right arm now, because that's the one that's going to go behind. That's the one that chops. So easy to keep track of it. And that's the one that kind of rotates a little, and right as you start to turn and you're moving your weight back initially. Here we go. Move our weight back initially and chop to the corner. What's that arm going to do? It's going to circle down. You're stepping in. It's going to go behind. You're putting your weight in center. But look what happens. It ends up in the front. That right arm. Questions? Looking good. Looking good. All right, I want to show you how we kind of end. I want to sketch it for you, and then I'd just like us to do the last few moves together. I wish we had a lot of time. We could do the whole thing together. You're going to save that for Nancy for next week, or Mike, or whoever's teaching the class. So what happens after this? We're going to sketch together the final move. All right? So there's absolutely no problem. Mirrored and unmirrored is exactly the same. So just have your right hand over the left. I will be mirrored here, but it's not going to matter. Okay? As long as you're in the right position. And what are you going to do? Your knees are bent. As you come up, you're going to sort of present your arms and put like circle caps, like those tubes that you have on like the ends of some tube or something. You get and this move comes from here. It's like right? It sort of starts here and it propagates down. So back again. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, I'm mirroring you. And we're down. As we rise, we present our hands, sort of, and then circle and push down. What's this like? This is a lot like opening. And this move is called closing. All right, so let's add that one on to this one. Oh, okay, let's see. Let's add it on. I'm going to do it this way, and then you're going to see it from this side. All right? So we're pushing, right? We'd finished the parent close up. We're pushing. We've been practicing in this direction for a while. We're going to do cross hands, shifting, chopping, and pivoting in. Shifting our weight left, stepping in as we close, and then up. Going into closing, we're going to present our arms, put those little circle caps on the end, and push down. Nice. One more time. Cross hands. First, we're going to get ourselves into, let's see, push with our upper body, and cross hands. Shifting back, paint a rainbow, chop, circling our arms, closing them down to the side, and step, shifting our weight center, right arm behind, coming up, and closing, standing up, presenting our arms, and little circles on the top. Looking good. All right, so we have time, I think, to do this from brush knee. All right, so let's see. Where do we start brush knee? We start brush knee in an empty step. Our right foot to the corner, our left foot, we're in right white crane. Our left, we're on a bow step, a ball of our foot, sorry, empty step, right? Um, right arm overhead, left arm pushing down. And we're going to drop that arm, rotate it, and brush knee. Swing step, polish the table, and strike. Hand strums the lute. Give way, bring the back foot in, shift back, and strum, heel touch. Shifting back, maybe hold a jar in the corner and swing step, polish the table, and strike. On the other side now, left hand rising. It rotates in as the foot rotates out. Stand in the corner, swing, step, polish the table, and strike. Right, another one on the other side. And go stand in the corner, swing, step, polish the table, and strike. Hand strums the lute. Give way, back foot in, shifting back, heel touch. Another brush knee. And into Parry block and punch. Just like the transition for brush knee, only now they're circling down. Make the fist as you stand in the corner. Then swing funky step, one line, two sides. Then as you move forward, stand on that foot, turn, block, and punch. Apparent closing up. Give way. Back to center. Open that fist. Those arms have crossed. We're coming back and pushing out as we move forward. Cross hands. Paint that rainbow. Chop. Your foot has pivoted. We're going to go all the way left. Bring that right foot in and cross hands. Now you can't see me, so listen to the call. As you rise, present your arms. Put the end caps on, those little circles at the top, and push down. And you should end up finishing feeling just like you would in prepare. Just bring your arms to the side. And it's 5 o'clock. All right, as I said before, Nancy and Mike, I believe, will be here next week, and they will be delighted to review everything we did today and everything that we have done so far, and they will continue to review you until you don't need the review. So have no fear. Any final questions?
Hey, Dee Dee, just to
Yeah.
clarify, the contact for the class for next Monday, is this the same contact as we're using now?
Yes, it is. It's the
Okay.
exact same link you're using now. I'm sorry. That's a great question, John, and I may have misled folks earlier, but yeah, that's what we're going to do. So, any other questions? All right. Well, let's close class.